Since 1981 at their founding, Pan Am Railways has been operating in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, and New York. Today, we're going to be looking at trains around the Ayer area and other various locations in Massachusetts. With the pending sale of Pan Am Railways, it is nice to look back at some of the best times. First up, train POAY. Pan Am uses symbols that have letters in them, such as POAY. PO is Portland and AY is Ayer. Here it is at Crossroad in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Power for this train was quite generic, with 3 XCSX C40-8s. The consist was mostly mixed manifest with an intermodal on the back. Next up is an Amtrak Downeaster, running from Bangor, Maine, all the way down to Boston, Massachusetts. Today's power is just 2 P42s as per usual. MBTA also runs this line. This is the Haverhill line for them, more commonly referred to by rail fans as the Western Route. Today we had a 1600 Comet cab car and a GP40MC on the back. GP40MCs are rebuilt Canadian National GP40-2LWs. These have been on the roster for MBTA for the longest time and are quite reliable. Next up was train POED, Portland to East Deerfield. That's basically one of the northernmost parts of the Pan Am system on the District 1 area, all the way down to very west end East Deerfield. Today's power was 7541, an XCSX C40-8, and 2 SD40-2s, both owned by Gaddix. Next up was train Dobo, Dover to Boston. Run by a Pan Am crew, this is a New Hampshire North Coast train. This train carries sand and gravel all the way down to Boston, sand and gravel, outside the BET. Today's power was the 2 GP38s owned by New Hampshire North Coast, the GP18 owned by New Hampshire North Coast, and the leased GP38. .3825 is the leader, sporting its beautiful K5. Here we are in Ayer, Massachusetts. This is train ED9 in East Deerfield Local, run by a Pan Am Southern crew. In East Deerfield, this train becomes Norfolk Southern 11R and runs all the way out to Mechanicsville, New York. Today's power was SD60E number 6954. Keolis also runs this line. This is Ayer, Massachusetts. Here's the original F40PH-3C rebuild number 1054. Another day, we see AYPO leaving Ayer on its way to Portland, Maine. This is just outside Ayer near a dog park. Today's power was two B40-8s and a GP40-2LW, 5933, 5968, and then the 518 trailing. Here we see a generic commuter rail with a Comet cab leading. Here it is at Groton Harvard Road, right in front of 22K, that is holding outside of the station right now in order for the inbound and outbound to pass. Here we see Norfolk Southern / Pan Am Southern 22K arriving Ayer. It is stopping just outside Groton Harvard Road to let the conductor off, as it has to back into Ayer Hill Yard. This train originated in Chicago. Today's power is an SD60E and two ACEs. SD60Es are the only locomotives that can lead on this line due to the PTC regulations that kill its fast. 6950 is the leader today. While 22K makes its way slowly through Groton Harvard Road, a brand new mbta F40 PHS 3C number 1051 makes one of its first runs at the Fitchburg line. This unit just came back from rebuild and is seen here pulling a 4-car single-level set. Here's 1051 coming on an inbound. After getting to Fitchburg, it had to wait a little bit for the layover and then come right back in. Here's the 1124 leading the outbound into Ayer Station. MBTA trains on the weekends only run every other hour. This train will be the next inbound set as well. It was the end of rail finding for this day. Here's the 1124 set coming back in. No freight trains had gone through between the outbound and the inbound, so it was a dull 2 hours. Overall, it was a good day though. Another day we see EDPO, East Deerfield to Portland. The train usually has a large amount of power as it's transferring from one end of the system to the other. We have 5 engines today, 7585, 7620, 7517, 505, and 518. While going under the bridge in Ayer, it met an FI local, probably FI3. FI local is based out of Fitchburg, and the crew number 3 is assigned based on who is running the train. 5973, a B40-8, is seen here on the Fitchburg local pulling some empty auto racks. This is one of two B40-8s with the Ukrainian flag painted on the front. This is graffiti and not an official paint job done by Pan Am. There's a little intermission between freight trains, and here are two commuter rails coming through Ayer, one with the GP40MC and one with F40 PHS3C 1063. The next time we're up in Ayer, here's EDPO, Ukrainian flag leader, number 7541, trailing is 7534, 7517, 7898, and GP40-2 305. Here's NS and Pan Am Southern 22K arriving just a few minutes after the EDPO cleared Ayer. Today's power was an SD60E, a BNSF Giro, and another Norfolk Southern locomotive. Due to the recent power shortages Norfolk Southern has been having, BNSF, UP, CSX, and other various railroads have been making their way all the way to Ayer. After 22K yardage trains, we head out to Fitchburg Yard. Here's an inbound passing a tied-down ED9. This ED9 had a Norfolk Southern SD60E, a BNSF Giro, and a CP SD70 ACU. Seen from a bird's eye view, CP, BNSF, and Norfolk Southern are waiting for the commuter rail to pass. They'll be waiting a little bit longer as there are no crews around. They're going to be running light all the way to Gardner and beyond. While heading out to Gardner for the ED9, we decide to stop by Whitney Street to see Providence and Worcester, Worcester to Gardner, or WOGR. Today power is a B40-8 4003 and B40-8W number 4005. Here's WOGR entering the Gardner yard. The crew member is setting the switches for the drop-offs that they're going to be making. A little while later, we head up to a spot near Gardner, or right outside Gardner, to see the 3 engines moving light as ED9. There were no cars for them either in Fitchburg or Ayer, so they ran light to Gardner, and I'm pretty sure all the way to East Deerfield. Quite an odd sight seeing the CP unit with no cars next to it. When we got back to Gardner, GRWO was building his train. One of 3 B40-AWs, 4005, has a beautiful RS3L and is seen here leading the train. After doing all the work, which took maybe an hour or 2, I'm almost 3, they're seen here leaving the yard on their way to Worcester, the 4005 leading. A week or so later, I head up to Ayer with a friend. Here's 3400, Ying its power as FI3, one of 6 SD40s left on the roster. As the 600 series left recently, the 34s that are owned by Gaddix are the only ones left. 5972 was the other unit on this train. Here they are at Groton Harvard Road. While not the best angle, or horn, it was still cool seeing an SD40 lead down the main line. Right after the FI3 goes through, here's AYPO with the 7518 leading. 7518 has an extremely loud K3. Right after AYPO, we decided to go to Shirley in hopes of seeing the FI3 return. Here's 22K, a welcome sight with BNSF and UP power. Once again, due to the power shortage, the foreign power has been making it all the way. 6953 is the leader on this train, and it's a necessarily loud K5LA. After seeing 22K in several locations, we go to North Leominster for the FI3, now running as ED9, the 5972, 3400, a cut of cars that it picked up at Ayer, and the auto racks picked up from Sandville. That was pretty much it for this recent few weeks of rail fanning in Ayer. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with us. Pan Am will be around for a little bit longer, so if you would like to come up and see it, now's your chance. Have a great day, everyone, and thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing and sharing with your friends.